You know that feeling when you're thinking you really want to do something, but then you're like, I'm not sure. What shall other people think? Or I don't know, maybe I'm too old to do it. Or who am I? I know that feeling. Believe me, I still feel a little bit like this with this YouTube channel. I still haven't told my best friends that I'm doing this. Well, to be honest, they're probably not even watching YouTube. But still, I know that feeling and it's holding us back. But I don't want it to hold you back. And for me to overcome this fear is usually like repeating my own personal mantra to myself, which is life is not a dress rehearsal. It's such a powerful sentence and it's so true. Regardless of your religious or spiritual belief, we have no certainty what comes after or if anything comes after. The only certainty we have right now is the life we are living right now. And we don't know when it's over. So we might as well just make the most out of it. And for me, that is just such a powerful reframer. Whenever I'm stuck with something, I really remember life is not a dress rehearsal, and it usually gets me motivated to go for it. And at the moment, I'm having a lot of conversations with people because I'm not even sure if I mentioned it on this channel before. I run a personal branding business for professionals. And you probably think professionals? What? Personal branding is for influencers? No, we all have a personal brand, including yourself. So you might as well take charge of it. And in a personal brand, there are 3 core aspects. You've got your inner core, which are your values and beliefs, your character traits, and they're fairly static. But then you have this beautiful, massive outer layer, which I call personal growth layer. So it's your communication style, it's your skill sets. And that is so powerful. And especially for introverts who think I have to kind of like sing and dance in the office and social media to be seen and heard. No, you don't have to. There is such a beautiful strength in being an introvert, but you have to kind of like know certain techniques on how to communicate to others when you're an introvert. And with my clients, we always look at the communication style and what can we actually do to improve it. And 93% of what we say, we actually say without words. So nonverbal communication is really important on how we show up. And on that brings us to the outer layer of our personal brand, the one people usually see first, which is our visual identity. And everybody can look beautiful. I really, truly mean that. But you really have to think about it. So I'm not sure if you ever thought about it. What's the best style for me? What are my colors? How do I show up? And it's so important, and it can be such a game changer, especially in personal branding. But a lot of people are really scared to embrace that journey. And the number one comment I get is like, oh, I'm not sure what my colleagues will think in the office if I all of a sudden show up differently. Now, 2 things on that. A, we're not going to change you completely. What we do is actually match your outside to your inside. So if anything, you're going to come into the office and people go like, oh wow, I didn't know he or she could look like that. Or they're going to think like you look like the best version of yourself. And then secondly, if you're really kind of like paralyzed by that thought, what shall other people think? Well, I've got news for you. Most people just think about themselves. They might give you 1 or 2 seconds and that's it. So why would you let that inhibit you? And I come back to my mantra. Life is not a dress rehearsal. I really would like you to embrace that. Maybe take 5 minutes now. Have a good look in the mirror and think about what do I actually want to do in this life? Am I currently living my best version? Am I living an authentic life? And I know it sounds a bit corny, living an authentic life, but I have come across a lot of people who actually live a life that is completely not in sync with who they are on the inside. And then they let the years go by and they feel more and more frustrated with themselves and the life they have. And you think, why? And when we change that, when we actually match the outside to the inside and we allow them to be who they are, and there's so much dormant potential, especially in midlifers, it's amazing how quickly your life can change. And even if you only got a few years left, you can still make those years the best years of your time. And if you happen to be in your 20s or 30s, Start now. Just think about what's possible if you take charge of your own personal brand. And I know it sounds a bit like, oh, I don't know, I'm not an influencer. You don't have to be. It just means if you become the best version of yourself, inside and outside, just think about what's possible. And if you need that extra little kick in the butt, then maybe write a post-it note on your computer or on your fridge. And what's on it? Yes, you're right. Life is not a dress rehearsal. I see you again next week. Take care.